So guys, it's another day in the world of Apple leaks, which means yes, we have yet another report on the next generation of AirPods. So, it's fair to say AirPods 3 have been leaked into oblivion, and I've made many videos on AirPods 3, but of course I haven't made a dedicated video all about it, so today, with the report from the Elec, who is a semi-reliable source, I thought I'd cover the release date, the price, the features, the design, the pretty much everything. So, without further ado, let's just delve into this. Make sure to like and subscribe, click that bell notification, and with that being said, let's just tuck in. So, the first piece of info I want to cover is the name, because yes, for some reason, there has been some debate over what these next generation of AirPods will be called. Of course, it would make sense to call them AirPods 3 because they're the third generation version of AirPods, but of course, in Apple land, they love to mess with the names, and so there are some reports claiming this could be called AirPods Pro Lite. No, I'm sorry, this isn't happening. So a lot of sources seem to be adamant on these being AirPods Pro Lite, but let me tell you, Apple will never, ever use the word light to describe any of their products. Because let me tell you something, a little marketing 101, light has connotations of being cheap or watered down. And yes, I am aware that Apple sells many products that fall into that criteria, for example, the iPad, the iPhone 12, and of course even the regular AirPods to an extent. But do you notice something about all these names? They're just the regular versions of that product line, because guess what? Consumers don't want to know they're cheaping out and getting the peasant edition. They just want to know they're getting the normal bog standard version, and so just calling them AirPods or iPhone 12 or iPad makes much better sense from a marketing standpoint. And so yes, Apple will never ever use the word light to describe AirPods, and so those rumors are definitely false. This is going to be AirPods 3 or 2021 AirPods or AirPods 3rd generation, something that isn't AirPods Pro Lite. That's just stupid. Basically, to summarize, light equals broke, and Apple does not equal broke. Apple equals flex, and so therefore Apple will never use the word light. That's my point. I hope that has gotten across to you guys. Anyways, with that being covered, let's now delve into the design of AirPods 3, and there has been some controversy regarding that too. So, the Elec in their new report claims that AirPods 3 will be pretty much AirPods Pro without any noise cancelling functionality, so the exact same design, but without ANC. Now this doesn't really add up in my opinion, because Apple included ear tips in the Pros for a better seal for noise cancellation. So what's the point of bringing them to the AirPods if they don't have active noise cancellation? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. And so, what makes sense to me is this leak from China that I've showed in many videos. It's basically an all-new design that combines the elements of AirPods Pro, but of course in the traditional hard tip style of the AirPods. And guys, this makes so much more sense to me because AirPods Pro don't work for everyone. Not everybody likes the ear tips, and not everybody can have a comfortable fit with AirPods Pro, and so some people prefer the universal fit that regular AirPods have, and so these next generation of AirPods should include that universal hard tip style, so people have a choice. They can either go for AirPods Pro for that ear tip style, or they can go for regular AirPods with the hard tip style. And of course, with this more efficient design, the case itself will be smaller than the current AirPods, which in itself is pretty small to begin with, so that's pretty amazing stuff. Now, the Elec does give us some pretty reliable information when it comes to the price, because they mention it will be 20% cheaper than the $249 AirPods Pro. And so, doing some quick maths, that's around $200, which makes sense because, of course, Apple currently retails the wireless version of the regular AirPods at $200, so it can be expected these will come with wireless charging as standard. Now, yes, I know that many people might think $200 is too high of a starting price for the AirPods lineup, but you've got to take into account there are many upgrades with this AirPod 3, for example, the new design, the better battery life that I'll be talking about, and of course possibly a new chip for faster pairing. So I think the higher price is justified. But personal prediction of mine, I do think Apple will keep around the wide version of AirPods 2 at possibly $99 as a super cheap offering for people on a strict budget, much like the Apple Watch Series 3. So I feel in that way the AirPods lineup will be complete and there'll be 3 offerings at distinct price levels. Anyways, coming back to the features of AirPods 3, this report from The Elect claims a South Korean supplier is developing a new system and package used for the H1 chip. So possibly there could be a H2 chip or some altered version of the H1 chip in these new AirPods. If I'm not mistaken, the H1 chip was introduced with the AirPods 2 in early 2019, so we're due for a refresh in terms of the H chip, and it would be perfect if they launched that chip with the next generation pair of AirPods. Now, one thing they mention is that the system in package used in the AirPods Pro is round shaped like a mouse, whereas this AirPods 3 will have a system in package that's a simple square shape. So maybe the square means it's better. I'm not really sure how this works. But anyways, I would expect faster pairing and possibly less latency, though to be honest I've never really experienced issues with pairing or latency with AirPods 2, so I can't really imagine how much better AirPods 3 will be in those specific areas. Min-Chi Kuo, who is of course the ever reliable Apple analyst, mentions battery life should be improved with these AirPods. Now, I did mention the case will be getting smaller, but for some weird magical reason, Apple's managed to squeeze out more battery life while making the case even smaller, which is honestly tremendous work, and I'm definitely looking forward to that because one of the issues with AirPods is battery degradation. They degrade really quick, and these have a lifespan of around 1 to 2 years, so obviously giving us better battery life from the offset could possibly mean AirPods 3 will degrade slower than AirPods 2. Finally, let's dive into release date and when we can expect to see these. So initially, we were pretty firm on it happening in March, possibly at some sort of March event, which I mentioned, by the way, in a video I did yesterday, which you can check out in the iCard above. But we now have information from Min-Chi Kuo that there's been some production delays, which means we could see these AirPods 3 in April to June instead of the initially predicted March timeline. Of course, it's not the biggest deal breaker in the world, it's only a few months, but of course it does suck that we have to wait a little longer for these. But either way, I am still very much looking forward to AirPods 3. I'm going to be buying them on day one, and they're still probably one of my most anticipated Apple releases in 2021. But tell me in the comments below, are you planning to buy AirPods 3 or have you already purchased your pair of AirPods Max to flex on all us broke boys? Anyways, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click that bell notification and especially subscribe because we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before 2021, so it would be really appreciated. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps.